New York here soon. So people like Mike are going to fill in the breach. We've got a lot of good candidates here tonight. But bottom line is the challenge under the Biden administration for the U.S.-Israel relationship is great. Do you agree? The one thing I can tell you is that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. And if there's an effort to open a consulate by the Biden administration in Jerusalem, we're going to fight like hell. This would undercut everything that President Trump has tried to do. After Tuesday, I hope the Democratic Party understands the American people are not wanting to go where they will take them, but I doubt if they understand that at all. Do you? So one thing, I talked to President Trump. He said hello, by the way. The one thing I can tell you about President Trump, during his time, Israel had the best friend in the White House since the founding of the Jewish state. The state of Israel provides the United States with more actionable intelligence than any single nation on the planet. The enemies of the Jewish state are the enemies of us as a nation. Our friends in Israel, how do you become a politician in Israel? You have to get a vote. Israel is a rule of law based nation with an Arab on the Supreme Court. Israel is an outlier in the region. And in college campuses throughout this country, Israel's the bad guy. Let's fix that. How about that? Israel's not the bad guy. So what I worry about? I worry about the rise of ISIS and Al Qaeda. I worry that everybody who fought along our side that we left behind is going to meet a terrible demise. I worry that those who've been with us may second guess whether or not you should stay with the United States. I worry about Taiwan. I worry about the Chinese licking their chops and believing now's the time, because in America you don't have the will or the resolve to do the things that you used to be willing to do. I worry that our allies in the region no longer can trust us. I worry that our friends in Israel feel like they may have to go it alone when it comes to stopping a nuclear-armed Iran. I worry about the JCPOA being restarted. It's the worst deal since Munich. I believe that the Biden administration would crawl through glass to get a deal with the Iranians. I believe that Israel will use military force if they have to stop the Ayatollah from getting a bomb. I believe the United States should tell Iran that if you continue to enrich at 60% above, all bets are off. Do you understand the difference between 5% enriching uranium than 60%? Do you understand the difference between 60% and 90%? If you don't, make yourself smart. At 90%, you're ready to make a bomb. The Iranians are very, very close. Our friends in Israel are committed to making sure that one Holocaust was enough. Most Americans are not as aware of this as they should be. My goal in 2021 and 2022 is to make national security and the defense of Israel one of the main topics in the next election. My goal is to go all over the country and kick the ass of the left, who's leading this country down a socialist path, who's created open borders and danger on our border like I haven't seen in my lifetime, who are willing to go into the worst deal since Munich yet again. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a challenge as a party, a challenge as a nation. But the Democrats are doing all they can to help us, and I want to thank them for doing that. That is a joke, but it is kind of sad. So everybody worries about 2024. A lot of people have come here to audition. Well, I ain't one of them. So, would you agree that the Republican Party has a lot of talent? Like in my state, Tim Scott and Nikki Haley? Yeah, I'm the short, dumb one, but I got a lot to compete with in South Carolina. So we have a very rich bench. We have a lot of energetic people who have resumes I think would make them qualified to lead this nation. But none of that matters to me until you get 2022 right. Do you agree with that? If we don't take back the House, nobody to blame but us. The Democrats are doing all they can do to give us the House. Kevin McCarthy is going to be Speaker of the House if we just do the blocking and tackling. The R.J.C. will be there, won't you? So all I can say is that 2022 is setting up for a blowout in the House. And when it comes to where I hang out the Senate, one senator makes a big difference. If we had one more senator, I would be the budget chairman, not Bernie Sanders. That's a good trade. All of this crap that you see happening would die with one more senator. So can we get that one more senator? You better believe it. I've never felt more optimistic than I am right now about us taking back the Senate. It starts with great candidates. We've got some. Chris Sununu, if you're watching or listening, please run. Some people wonder, what can you do as a senator? Is it possible to get anything done? Yes, it is possible, Chris. But the first thing you can do as a United States Senator is fire Chuck Schumer. That's pretty good on your tombstone. If you did nothing else in your whole life, do that. So Chris could win in New Hampshire. Herschel is going to win in Georgia. Help him. In Arizona, Mark Kelly is not John McCain. He's a nice man, but he's sitting on the sideline and watching the border just be run over. He's done nothing, in my view, to distinguish himself from the agenda of the far left. So Arizona's there for the taking. Ron Johnson from Wisconsin, as Mr. Smith goes to Washington really pissed off. I hope he runs. North Carolina is not a purple state. It is not a blue state. It is a red state. We're going to win in North Carolina. And in Pennsylvania, there's some people here tonight that I'm jacked up about in terms of being able to win Pennsylvania. And follow Pat Toomey. So the winds are moving in our direction politically, and the world is getting more dangerous as I speak. The world needs strong leadership in the Congress. The world needs this socialist agenda to end in the House. The state of Israel needs a more reliable partner. 2024. If we do well, like I think we will in 2022, then we're back in the game. Who's going to be the nominee? I don't know, but I do know this, that Donald Trump was a hell of a president. That from the time he gets up till he goes to bed, they're trying to destroy his life and his family. All the bullshit he went through, I don't know how he went through it. And he can be his own worst enemy, that is true. But he did things that nobody else could do that needed to be done. He got out of the Iran nuclear agreement because he knows a bad deal when he sees it. He convinced Mexico to help us for a change. And you know why Mexico helped us? They were afraid of Donald Trump. After you take on China and put tariffs on their products, do you think Mexico believed Trump when he said, if you don't help me, I'm going to put tariffs on your products? The Abraham Accords. How did that happen? The Arabs saw in Donald Trump somebody that understands Iran. The Arabs understand that Iran is not their enemy. Israel is not their enemy. It is Iran. The Abraham Accords are the biggest sea change in Mideast politics in my lifetime. And we're going to build on it, but we need to take the White House back. So we'll have an opportunity to pick a nominee down the road. We got to win back the House and the Senate. But if we can take back the House, the White House, and the Senate, oh my God, what could we do for this world? We could have working people. We could turn around bad foreign policy and replace it with strong foreign policy. We could say yet again, Israel is the best friend of the United States, that Jerusalem will always be forever the eternal, undivided capital of the Jewish state. So choose wisely. Think hard. Work like your country depends on the outcome, because it does. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for what you've done for me and people like me for all these years. I'm here to tell you that our work is going to pay off. And I will see you in Jerusalem.